So I'm heading off on the Grove Creek to Battle Creek loop. Should be about 8 miles. It's gonna be probably the longest hike that we've done since we got here. Or, well, I guess that I've done, because this is also gonna be my first solo hike. So wish me luck. I'm getting kind of a late start. It's already about 4:30 in the afternoon, but I should be able to finish this before dark. Just gonna have to push through and not do too many stops. Wanting to do this hike for a while, just kind of putting it off. It's now Memorial Weekend. Lindsay is at the pool, which just opened this weekend. Our little community pool. It's really nice, actually. Has a big outdoor hot tub, a nice heated pool. Pretty sweet. So she's out there lounging it up, and I'm just tired of working on the website and needed a little outdoor activity, so figured a good day for this. It's beautiful out. Bright blue sunny skies all around us. Probably 80 some degrees, so I'm gonna be definitely sweating a lot today. I'm already breathing hard. It's a pretty steep climb. Overall, it's gonna be about, I think, 3,200 vertical feet over the course of the trail, so definitely gonna get my workout today. This is an outstanding hike. We've done Grove Creek up to Indian Springs Campground before, which is just absolutely breathtaking. Overlooks Timpanogos, has a beautiful open field and prairie. Quite a sight. So I think I'm going to be going up somewhere near there, and then once I get up to there, hiking down the rest of the way back around another one of our favorites called Battle Creek Falls. That has a really nice waterfall. It's only about a mile from our house. To give you some perspective of the steepness of this trail, I'm maybe a half mile into the trail, and check out my view. Seriously gained some elevation quick. So I'm continuing the climb, thinking maybe a mile into it now. I think the overall climb is about 2.5 miles out of the total 8 miles. Then it's a long hike back down and back across the Bonneville Shoreline Trail. Just kind of like a fire road, a mountain biking trail that runs along the foothills, or the base of the foothills, and base of the mountains for people that aren't mountain people. But this is why I love this hike. So I'm not even close to being up in the top to see the really beautiful, spectacular things. But look at this view of Utah Valley and Lake Utah. When you come out hiking in areas you haven't been to before, or even if you've been there before, it's good to have some type of mapping system with you. Either a printed map, or a mapping app, or some kind of pre-printed pamphlet. But you need something, because I actually just got lost, and I've done this hike maybe once or twice before, and I wasn't paying attention, ended up on a different trail. Things started looking different, and luckily I caught it before I got too far, so it was a quick turnaround. I'm currently using the All Trails app, which we'll see if we can put a link to that app in the video, and it's been great so far. I just paid for the Pro subscription because they had a half-off deal for Memorial Day weekend, and I'm able to download the maps, which is critically important, because when you get up here in the mountains, you will not have cell phone coverage, so don't rely on it. I'm getting up there pretty high now, but still pretty far away from my target. I believe my target height, or elevation, is the base of those snow-capped mountains way back there. So I still got probably a couple miles to go, and probably about another 1,500 vertical. So quite a bit of workout still. And I'm getting ready to go around some pretty rocky outcroppings. I may or may not take video of that, depends on how safe it is. Last time we passed it, there was a lot of loose rocks, and you really kind of had to watch your step. Kind of out in an exposed area. Steep rocky incline that way. Steep rocky decline that way. Definitely want to stay on this path. As you can see, I'm staying pretty close to the wall. Don't want to get too close to that other edge. Still probably another 1,000 feet. You can kind of see where I'm heading, up between these two valleys towards that peak. Falls are really running pretty good this time of the year. Utah had record snowfall. Areas in the Cottonwood Canyons up near Snowbird and Brighton got over 600 inches of snow. And Snowbird on Memorial Day is still open for skiing and has a 120-inch base. It's ridiculous. Love to go skiing, but it's summertime. It's time to enjoy the summer activities. So I just crossed over a little bridge, and this is where the terrain starts to really change. Not so much rocky outcroppings anymore. Starting to get more into the dirt and forest side. Here's a good look at where I just came from. A little tiny path right down there. Making pretty good time, but as you can see, the sun's starting to go over the ridge. It's kind of an important fact when you're hiking out in the mountains, but you can't go by the sunset time that they list on TV or on the weather apps, because the sun goes down behind the mountains. So the sun might still be up in one part of the trail and down in another. So you want to make sure you always have a good flashlight with you, which I do, and fresh batteries. It'd be good to actually have a headlamp. Maybe I'll invest in one of those sometime, that way you can have your hands free. But for now, I got a nice flashlight with the ultra bright mode. When I get into some more technical areas, and a low power mode to help conserve battery. As you can see, the water's a little high right now, so I'm probably going to end up with wet shoes. This would be a good spot to pull out my hiking poles. Use those as some leverage points. But I think I got this. Keep my fingers crossed. Not too deep anyway. Just really don't want wet shoes right now. Made it. Nice. Just got done texting my wife, letting her know where I am and that I'm safe and everything's still good. Actually, kind of amazing. I found a spot with some 4G service. So pretty good data. Maybe one day I'll bring my laptop up here and work. Be kind of cool. Anyway, it's a good safety tip. Just make sure someone, at least one other person, always knows where you're going, especially if you're going to hike alone, and what time they should expect you back, because anything can happen. You know, you can slide and get hurt. You can get stung by a bee if you're allergic to them, like I am, in which case you should have your EpiPen, and I actually do. Finally picked one up after 5 years of putting it off, which I shouldn't have done. That was stupid, but it's all better now. But it's just a good idea. That way they can know that you're safe, and they can know when to expect you back. And that way, if you're not back and, you know, another hour passes by or whatever, they can start to think about sending help. Just checked with the All Trails map band app. It looks like I got about 700 more vertical to go, which is more than I was hoping. And it's fairly steep, and I'm starting to get up into the elevation, so it's harder to catch my breath because I haven't been up here in a while. Finally, a stretch of sort of flat ground after climbing for about, I don't know, last hour and a half or so. Legs could definitely use a break, and elevation's starting to get to me a little bit. But I should be pretty close to Indian Springs Campground. Wait till you see that place. Welcome to Indian Springs Campground. This is a local hotspot of camping. It's very primitive. So basically just an open pasture, prairie, with some fire rings around if you look for them. You know, no services or facilities or anything, but spectacular. I mean, look at the mountains behind me. I believe that's the north side of Timpanogos. As we turn west, we have a beautiful view of Lake Utah. I just made it to another fork in the trail, and wasn't 100% sure which direction I needed to go. But took a path, and checking it with my All Trails app, as you can see, I think I might be on the right path, but I gotta double check. You want to make sure you have your compass calibrated before you do this, and you want to have your phone laying flat so that you can get proper direction. So I think I'm going the right way, but we'll find out here in a minute. I'll keep an eye on it. So I just made it up to this trail marker. Seems like a good place to stop for a break. Just made it up the trail, and looks like onto an old Jeep road. Definitely another thing we'll have to keep in the books once we get the Jeep running perfectly smooth again and we get back from all of our trips in June and July, I have to take some nice long day Jeep rides and bring the dog up here and hang out on the mountain. This looks to be the high point of the hike, and I mean that in more than one way. Literally, this is the vertical highest point that I'll be making it to today. And just look at these views. It feels awesome finally going downhill, or at least on somewhat level ground. Giving my calves a breather. They took a beating on the way up. Can really feel it. I'm gonna have to do some stretching when I get home. I will be descending down Battle Creek, which I know has some fairly steep parts. So, see how that comes up. Looks like I got maybe a mile or two before I get there. Well, this is a good sign, pun intended. I actually see a sign for Battle Creek Trail, and that's where I am headed. I think I officially made it to Battle Creek Trail, which is like a really good sign. Sun's still high up in the air. Legs are doing pretty good. I'm doing good. Still got an extra Cliff Bar just in case. Ran across the first hiker I've seen in probably 2 hours. Saw a couple deer, tried to get them on video, but they were too far away and kind of in the bush. So no luck there, but it should be smooth sailing from here on out, just down to the base of the Battle Creek Trail and then back to the car. Somehow, even after trying to pay attention to the app and kind of focusing on what all trails are around me, I got off course a little bit. But still on a known trail, because here's another cool little camping spot. Well, I finally made it to the river that feeds Battle Creek Falls, so I must be getting close. Looking forward to seeing it again. Looks like I gotta find a way across this. Tried the other trail that's over here, but it's dead end and it's worse. Good chance I'm gonna end up with wet shoes. Oh well. Well, actually made it. Wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. Yet another water crossing. Oh, this one looks a little more tricky. Let's see what we can do here. Made it again. Must be my lucky day. I'm on my third and final leg of the journey. I went up Grove Creek and back around through Indian Springs Campground. Back down through Battle Creek and got to see Battle Creek Falls. Came back down to the Kiwanis Park where the G Trail is. And now I'm starting on my path down through the Bonneville Shoreline Trail, which should be a fairly easy hike. Sun's getting ready to set off in the distance. Try to get some shots of it as it goes down. And get to see the city, kind of go to sleep. So stopping to take one last bite to eat, my brownie snack, and work my way back to the car and then back home for a nice hot shower and some dinner. Well, as you can see, I'm back in the car, so I actually made it. Made it all the way around the loop. It's an incredible hike. Should have probably started it maybe an hour earlier, but getting to see the sunset on the way back was definitely worth it. Would totally recommend this hike for anybody. You could turn it into a day hike easy. You get up in the morning, get up to the top of Grove Creek, you spend a little time at Indian Springs Campground, eat lunch, kind of chill up there for a while, and then work your way back down to Battle Creek and back around, and it's, just sights everywhere. Anyway, that's it for tonight. See ya.